Hi, this is the 10th part of the book, Atomic Focus Book, Embracing a Focus-First Philosophy. In the closing pages of Atomic Focus, Damon Zahariades invites readers to adopt a focus-first philosophy that transcends mere productivity hacks and becomes the lens through which life is viewed. He asserts that focus is more than a skill. It is a way of being that shapes choices, relationships, and outcomes. At its core, this philosophy is about intentional living, choosing how to spend limited cognitive and emotional resources in alignment with personal values. Zahariades encourages readers to see attention as the currency of human potential. The moment we relinquish control of our attention to trivialities, we pay the price in terms of lost creativity, diminished self-respect, and eroded potential. Conversely, when we intentionally guard our attention, we achieve a kind of freedom, the ability to create, connect, and contribute in ways that matter to us. He emphasizes that living a focus-first life does not mean eliminating spontaneity or joy. Rather, it means choosing joy and spontaneity from a place of presence and intention, knowing that by protecting deep work and mental stillness, we create the mental bandwidth to fully appreciate the small moments. In this way, a focus-first life becomes richer, not austere. By reducing mindless scrolling, incessant checking, and reactive living, we free ourselves to be more present with family, deeply engaged in creative pursuits, and more empathetic toward others. Zahariades argues that a distracted life is inherently shallow because it is lived at the mercy of external stimuli. In contrast, a focus-first existence fosters depth, presence, and sustained growth. He also addresses the concern that a rigorous focus system might lead to rigidity or burnout. To counter this, Zahariades reminds readers that the atomic focus framework is modular and adaptable, not a one-size-fits-all prescription. Systems evolve with changing goals, energy levels, life transitions, and even mood. The aim is not to adhere to rules out of dogma, but to cultivate a dynamic ecosystem of practices that serve long-term flourishing. When life circumstances shift, whether through career changes, new family responsibilities, or unexpected crises, the focus-first philosophy provides a compass rather than a blueprint. It guides decisions about which routines to preserve, which to pause, and which to adapt or discard entirely. Finally, Zahariades ends with a call to radical ownership. Take full responsibility for your attention, no excuses. External factors, technology, job demands, social pressures will always exist, but they only control you to the extent you let them. By treating attention as a non-negotiable gift, you reclaim agency over your life. This shift from reactive drifting to active direction marks the culmination of the atomic focus journey. It is the moment when focus ceases to be a tactic and becomes a lifelong orientation toward depth, meaning, and creative impact. Recap of the Atomic Focus Framework. Throughout the book, Zahariades structures his approach around 5 interlocking pillars: clarity, structure, environment, mindset, and recovery, each of which serves a distinct function yet relies on the others for sustained effectiveness. He revisits these pillars in the final chapter to solidify their interdependence, offering a concise roadmap for readers to recall and re-engage with the material. Clarity, the bedrock of focus. Without clarity, attention splinters across competing demands and conflicting signals. Clarity begins with identifying your highest priorities, the projects, relationships, and values worthy of deep engagement. Zahariades reminds readers to articulate a focus vision, a succinct statement of purpose that guides daily decisions. Clarity also requires goal hierarchies, long-term aspirations, annual or multi-year goals, mid-term milestones, quarterly or monthly objectives, and immediate next actions. By linking each daily task to a broader purpose, you inoculate yourself against meaningless busyness. Structure, the mechanism that translates clarity into action. Structure includes focus rituals, time blocking, routines, and planning practices. In earlier chapters, Zahariades detailed how to construct focus rituals, short, repeatable sequences that prime the mind for deep work, and the mechanics of time blocking, in which specific blocks of the day are reserved for targeted types of work. Structure also involves energy-aware scheduling, where you assign tasks to time slots based on your ultradian rhythms and personal energy audit. Consistent rituals and a well-organized calendar reduce decision fatigue, ensuring that each day unfolds with intentional momentum. Environment, the external scaffold that supports or sabotages focus. Zahariades breaks environment into three realms: physical, digital, and social. For the physical dimension, he recommends minimalist workspaces, clear desks, and sensory controls, lighting, sound, posture. Digital environment entails notification hygiene, app and browser management, and deliberate technology boundaries, e.g., digital Sabbaths, digital buffer zones. The social environment extends to coworkers, family, and community. It requires clear communication of focus boundaries, scheduling of quiet hours, and raising collective awareness about attention culture. By proactively shaping environments, you reduce the need for willpower and make focus the path of least resistance. Mindset, the internal narrative and identity that sustain focus. Without a supportive mindset, habits easily fracture under stress or temptation. Zahariades emphasizes identity-based habit formation, urging readers to see themselves as focused people, rather than people who try to focus. This mental alignment leverages self-perception to drive consistent action. Mindset also covers self-talk strategies, affirmations, mantras, and cognitive reframing that counter self-sabotaging thoughts, perfectionistic impulses, and internal resistance. By cultivating a resilient, growth-oriented mindset, you learn to treat distractions and setbacks as natural detours rather than catastrophes. Recovery, the often overlooked pillar that fuels sustainable focus. Recovery includes rest at multiple scales: micro breaks, brief pauses during deep work, short breaks, screen-free activities every 90 to 120 minutes, daily downtime, unstructured leisure or restorative practices, and extended rest, weekends, vacations, or digital detox days. Recovery also encompasses emotional regulation tools, mindfulness, grounding exercises, journaling, that help you return to baseline when stress or anxiety threatens to hijack attention. By entrusting proceeds to recovery routines, you avoid chronic attention fatigue and burnout, ensuring that your focus reserves are replenished rather than depleted. In this recap, Zahariades underscores that no single pillar can deliver atomic focus on its own. Clarity without structure leads to wishful thinking. Structure without supportive environment leads to constant friction. Environment without healthy mindset leads to self-sabotage. Mindset without recovery leads to exhaustion. Only by integrating all 5 pillars can you approach focus mastery as a sustainable, evolving process rather than a series of one-off efforts. A compact, actionable guide to implementation. To help readers transition from theory to practice, Zahariades concludes with a compact, 30-day atomic focus action plan, structured as a progressive, week-by-week roadmap. Although the specifics can be personalized, the general blueprint is as follows. Week 1. Lay the foundation, clarity and environment. Day 1 to 2. Conduct a 30-minute mind sweep to externalize all tasks, worries, and ideas. Day 3 to 4. Define your focus vision, a short, vivid statement of what your ideal focused life looks like in 1 year. Day 5 to 6. Audit your environment. Clear your workspace of clutter, uninstall or block distracting apps, and designate a digital buffer zone for mornings and evenings. Day 7. Set up a weekly planning ritual. Use a simple template, goal, priorities, next actions, to plan your upcoming week. Week 2. Build focus rituals and structure and mindset. Day 8 to 9. Design and practice a morning primer, a 10-minute ritual involving journaling, intention setting, and light movement. Day 10 to 11. Implement time blocking for your day, Identify your biological prime time and assign a 60 to 90-minute deep work block. Day 12. Create a simple focus scorecard. Rate each day on a 1 to 10 scale for intentionality and distraction recovery. Days 13 to 14. Adopt an identity-based affirmation. I am someone who focuses, and repeat it during morning and evening rituals. Week 3. Strengthen habits and recovery. Mindset and recovery. Days 15 to 16. Begin integrating micro breaks into deep work blocks. Every 25 to 45 minutes, pause for 2 to 3 breaths or a brief stretch. Day 17 to 18. Schedule a short break, 10 to 20 minutes, every 90 to 120 minutes. Use these breaks for mindful activities, walking, breathing exercises, or a quick mental reset. Day 19. Conduct a mid-month review. Assess your focus scorecard, identify one pillar that needs adjustment, and tweak your rituals accordingly. Day 20 to 21. Implement a daily evening shutdown ritual. Review completed tasks, journal one gratitude and one lesson learned, and plan tomorrow's top 3 priorities. Week 4. Deepen practice and reflection, integration and refinement. Day 22 to 23. Undertake a digital Sabbath. Choose a half-day or full-day free from non-essential tech. Observe how your attention and mood shift. Day 24 to 25. Schedule a focus sync with a friend, family member, or coworker. Share goals, commit to mutual accountability, and practice collective quiet hours. Day 26. Conduct a weekend focus season. Debrief. What worked? What drained energy? How can you adjust your PFOS, Personal Focus Operating System? Day 27 to 28. Plan a rest day, extended recovery. No agenda, no screens, just restful activities. Nature walks, reading, journaling. Day 29 to 30. Final reflection and commitment renewal. Revisit your focus vision. Update your weekly and monthly rituals, and write a short letter to yourself describing how you want to show up in the next 30 days. By following this 30-day plan, readers create a virtuous cycle: initial clarity and environment, tuning lower activation energy for focus. Structure and mindset practices build momentum, recovery routines prevent burnout, and regular reflection ensures continuous improvement. At the end of 30 days, the intention is not to have perfected every pillar, but to have a living, adaptable system that you own and can refine indefinitely. Measuring success and adapting over time. Zahariades acknowledges that metrics matter, but not the superficial kind, e.g., hours logged, tasks checked off. Instead, he recommends qualitative and quantitative indicators that reflect meaningful progress. Sense of calm at the start of each day, ability to enter flow states with fewer distractions, reduced mental clutter, fewer intrusive thoughts about unfinished tasks, increased satisfaction and pride in work and life. Focus scorecard ratings, tracking intentionality versus distraction. Number of deep work blocks completed per week. Percentage of time spent on high-leverage activities versus shallow tasks. Weekly energy audit scores, tracking physical rest, emotional state, and cognitive clarity. By combining subjective impressions with objective data, you develop a 360-degree view of your focus health. If ratings slide, you can pinpoint whether it's due to environment decay, e.g., clutter creeping back, mindset backsliding, e.g., negative self-talk, or insufficient recovery, e.g., overpacked schedule. This balanced feedback loop keeps you nimble, preventing small slips from snowballing into chronic distraction. Zahariades also underscores the importance of periodic system audits, quarterly or biannual check-ins where you step back and evaluate. Is my PFOS still aligned with my goals, values, and life circumstances? These audits help you prune rituals that no longer serve you. For example, a 6 a.m. deep work block that fails because your child's new schedule requires you to be a parent at that hour. And introduce new practices to address emerging challenges. Living a focus-first life. Final reflections. In his epilogue, Damon Zahariades reminds readers that atomic focus is not an endpoint, but a lifelong journey. Even the most seasoned practitioners will encounter seasons of distraction, whether due to health issues, life transitions, or shifts in priorities. The difference is that a focus-first mindset enables them to navigate these fluctuations with curiosity and compassion, rather than discouragement. Zahariades leaves us with three final imperatives. Protect your attention as a sacred trust. Every choice, what to read, whom to meet, how to spend spare moments, casts a vote for your future self. Recognize the gravity and privilege of that power. Cultivate adaptive systems, not rigid rules. Systems exist to serve you, not the other way around. Regularly prune, refine, and reconfigure your PFOS so it remains aligned with evolving goals, values, and life demands. Celebrate small wins and practice compassion. Deep work and sustained focus are hard. Honor each recovered focus moment, each distraction paused, each block of deep work completed. When you slip up, treat yourself with kindness and leverage the recovery protocols to re-establish momentum. Ultimately, living a focus-first life is not about becoming a machine of ceaseless productivity. It is about maximizing the quality of attention we bring to the things that deserve it most: our creative endeavors, relationships, health, and meaningful contributions to the world. Attention is finite, but when stewarded well, it multiplies impact, fosters well-being, and catalyzes transformation. Zahariades' final words resonate as both a challenge and an invitation. If you can commit to one thing, if you can choose, day after day, to protect your attention, everything you care about has a better chance at life. By internalizing the atomic focus framework and tailoring it to your unique context, you embark on a path of intentional living. Distractions will persist and lapses will occur, but with clarity, structure, environment, mindset, and recovery working in concert, you reclaim the most precious resource you have: your attention. May this guide serve as both a companion and a compass as you navigate the ever-shifting currents of modern life, keeping you anchored in purpose, presence, and deep focus. Thank you for listening, and please subscribe for more great upcoming videos that will make you a different personality.